What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here, and we're back for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle. Alright, so we're going to be doing the regular video I always do every time we get a brand new red Dragon Stone. So it's going to be the select character Dragon Stone. Which one should you get? Alright, so we're going to just go back to what my usual number one pick is. We all know this, I talk about it every single time. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. This man with his 80% damage reduction for 10 turns from the start of turn is still easily one of the best passive skills you could use for any of your teams going into any of the red zones, because he'll tank almost anything with that 80%. Super attacks, basic attacks, anything. And he fits Pure Saiyans, Vegeta's family, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, and Bond of Parent and Child. So you could actually run him on quite a few valid teams and make him suitable for those red zone events. But that's my number one normal go-to, but we're not going to emphasize him specifically this time only. We're actually going to mix it up and throw in a few other ones that I really thought of that caught my eye. Something also that really caught my eye that I didn't notice right away was with the red Dragon Stone, it's two sets of units here actually give you 3 cards. So this first batch here gives you the STR Goku, pretty much the Father-Son Gallic Gun Goku, or Vegeta and Trunks, plus the Goku that uses the Kamehameha against the Zamasu blast attack thing he does. And then there's also this one here. This one here is the one I recommend going for. Let me explain a little bit why. Because you got to look at it from the standpoint of this Zamasu here is going to fit almost perfect on the new LR Zamasu's team. Actually, all 3 of those units are going to fit pretty well on that team. They're all easy 8. He supports Realm of Gods category Extreme Class Allies 50% defense. Does he suck defensively himself? Yes. I'm hoping he'll be one of the first ones that gets a easy A later on that corrects that. But as of now, he's terrible defensively, but he does have big bad bosses. And he would fit relatively well for a newer player on the Merged Zamasu, Corrupt Zamasu team. So he is the pack I'm going to recommend going with, this triple pack here. But I'm not going to go too super in detail on each and every one of the units. You'll be able to see them on screen. You can go through yourself and highlight them and see why I would recommend, why they would be good to go with. And also, if you look at the links, with the AGL Zamasu that's actually getting an easy A in a week, he links perfect with all 7 links. So he's going to get all of these active, which are 2 defensive buffs, a bunch of offensive buffs. So he links really well, as he links well with the second unit in his pack, Dark Menace Goku Black, which this unit post-Easy A is actually still pretty decent. Not great, but decent. He's a nuker, so he relies on getting the key spheres. So realistically, on one of those teams, he's not... If you can't get him a lot of key spheres, he's not going to be great, but he's also not going to be terrible either. He's going to be one of those where he'll be your 3rd rotational slot, and you'll want to rotate him off for the most part. He won't necessarily be someone that you can rely on to be your heavy hitter. Sorry if you hear the lawnmower outside. We also have the second part of his passive. With each attack received, he gets an additional 1 key, so he's almost guaranteed to be hitting a super attack every turn. He gives Extreme Class Key plus 3, and he also changes key spheres of a certain type to Rainbow, plus gets an additional attack and defense of 5% per key sphere when there's a Goku's family enemy. So if you're facing a Goku's family event, he's getting 20% per key sphere instead of 15. And he fits quite a good list of categories as well. Corroded Body and Mind, Power Wishes. I'm thinking the Zamasu here will lead Corroded Body and Mind for the Part 1 LR, the Dokkan Fest. I think that's what he's going to be. So he'll fit really well on that, as well as this Zamasu here, which fits Corroded Body and Mind, doesn't he? Does he not? How does he not fit Corroded Body and Mind? Does he not? I don't know, we'll check in a second. But either way, then there's the 3rd card in that slot. You actually get, I think, 4, because you get the Kai as well. But the 3rd card in that slot is the Zamasu STR that also got his Easy A. He raises his attack and defense for 1 turn, so he makes himself slightly more defensive. Gets an additional attack and defense of 60% at the start of turn, plus additional, and the enemy's attack goes down by 30% when he performs a super. You gain 10% HP when you're 90% or less, and get an additional 60% attack and defense. And he gets an additional 60% attack when the target is in attack down status. Pretty decent, and he has some pretty solid links as well. Now that I'm looking back on it, I don't think he's actually going to be a Corroded Body in Mind. I could see him being Worldwide Chaos. I completely forgot that category existed. But these are his stats post EZA. Again, links really well with himself for the most part, to be honest, and the other Zamasu, so he fits decently on that team, and he's easily rotatable throughout the whole team. He won't be your number 1 or number 2 slot character, but he'll fit on that team. Alright, so now for the UR Premium Dragonstone. I've got a few units picked out. My one I'm going to say is I would say go for this Trunks, but there's 2 more units that are on this banner, or on this summon, that make me say otherwise. So, it's the Trunks Team Future that we know is getting an EZA in less than a week. I've gone over this man countless times, so I'm not going to do it again. I'm just going to say this is the one you need to grab with your UR Premium Stone, either him or the Zamasu if you don't have either one. That's all I'm really going to go into on these two, because I've gone over these 2 countless times. Them 2, as well as this man here, if you don't have him. Those 3, you need to go in on one of those 3. It's not worth to grab one of these 2. Maybe this Future Gohan if you don't have him, but that's very iffy. But I've gone over these 3 countless times, talking about how they're going to get EZAs. We have these 2 confirmed to get EZAs, so I'm not going to go too much into detail on them. The LR Premium Stone, though, otherwise, this one is something I haven't fully covered too much, because it's actually brand new. It's the first time we've gotten it. All these units are fully awoken, I'm sorry. So that's what the star there represents next to it. But the first unit I recommend grabbing, if you are going to be buying these stones, if you're going to be going hard for it, is the Super Saiyan Gohan and Future Trunks Youth that transforms into Future Gohan. For those of you that have been watching my Red Zone videos, you know that I've been relying pretty heavily on this man's revive animation. So once you transform into this Gohan, if he gets defeated, which he will because he has 0 defense prior to reviving, you get 85% HP recovered, you get 58% defense, an additional 5 ki, and damage reduction of 58% for the remainder of the battle. So this man gets very, very defensive, very quick, and he fits on a myriad of really good teams. Future Saga, Bottom Master Disciple, Connected Hope, Android/Cell, Earthbred Fighters, Powerful Comeback, Hybrid Saiyans. He fits on a ton of teams, and he actually links relatively well with this Vegeta and Trunks that I've been running a lot recently. So, and actually I don't think he has a 200% leader. Does he have a 200% leader skill? Who does he fit on 200% leader wise? Oh, that's it. Yeah, so this unit does not actually have a 200% leader. I've been running him only on a 170 leader on my teams, so that explains why he's a little weaker. But that's my number 1 unit I would say go for. If you do not have them, grab them. Number 2, this one's an iffy number 2 because he's an older unit. So, I mean, he's good. He's still really, really good at this point because he gets additional defense to start the turn, recovers 50% HP, plus additional ki +2 and 50% damage reduction, and guards all attacks for 3 turns from the start of the turn, so he gets more defense. 100% attack when performing a super, and he gets ki +1 up to 4, and attacking defense up to 30% up to 120 with each attack received. And he raises his attack and defense, well, both by 30%. The attack is for 1 turn, defense is for a minimum of 3 turns. And he fits, I mean, really, he fits on some pretty good teams too. Worldwide Chaos being the main one, which is where I can see him being used at Worldwide Chaos, Future Saga, Time Travelers, and actually Power Wishes. But he links, again, really well with this guy, who I was just talking about earlier, that he fits really well on the team with. As well as he fits somewhat decent with this Rose, which I've been talking about, that really deserves an EZA soon, too. He should be getting that relatively soon, and also that ties into the LR Premium Stone. That's 2 of the units, the Gohan and Trunks here. Whoops, what am I doing? The Gohan and Trunks there, the Rose here, as well as, whoops, the Goku Black and Zamasu. This unit's something. They're not bad. Mine's only 55% or 69%, so they're not the greatest, so I don't know what they would really be like at 100%. They're decent, but they need to be on a specific Time Travelers team, or they're not that great. So if you have all these other 3 that I'm pointing out, if you have all those other 3 I pointed out, and you really just don't want to grab another dupe of them, and you want another Future Saga unit that you don't have, or a Time Travelers unit, you can go ahead and grab these guys. But the biggest one that I'm going to say to go for is definitely these 2, until we officially get a confirmation that this guy's getting an EZA, because right now he is not useful in any of the newer content. It's actually pretty mediocre for the most part. But until we get that, go with this guy, these 2. For the UR Stone, go with one of these 3. And for Whoops. My timer. And for this stone, the red one, go with this man first if you don't have him. Or if you want to build and prep for Merge Zamasu, go with this batch of units here. But that's it for the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.